In the bitter cold of December 1890, the Hotchkiss gun would unleash a torrent of death in just minutes. This rapid-fire cannon could spew 50 rounds per minute, obliterating everything in its path. But how did this deadly weapon come to be? The Hotchkiss gun was the brainchild of French inventor Benjamin B. Hotchkiss. Designed in 1872, it featured 5 revolving barrels, allowing for sustained rapid fire without overheating. This revolutionary weapon could unleash a storm of projectiles in mere seconds. Its efficiency was remarkable. A well-trained crew could fire approximately 50 rounds per minute, making it one of the most formidable weapons of its time. But what made this gun truly terrifying was its ability to devastate large groups in a matter of moments. Imagine the scene at Wounded Knee in 1890. The air was thick with tension, and the Hotchkiss guns were primed for action. The US Army troops, equipped with these deadly weapons, were about to unleash their fury on an unsuspecting crowd of Lakota individuals. Historical accounts tell us that the Hotchkiss guns rained down fire indiscriminately, taking the lives of approximately 150 to 300 Lakota men, women, and children in a matter of minutes. This horrific massacre was a stark demonstration of the power and lethality of the Hotchkiss gun. The tragedy at Wounded Knee serves as a grim reminder of the devastating consequences that can arise from the misuse of such powerful weapons. But how did this weapon, with its rapid-fire capability, come to be employed in such a brutal manner? To understand this, we must delve deeper into the history and design of the Hotchkiss gun. What made it so formidable? And why was it adopted by military forces around the world? This is the story of a weapon that would forever change the landscape of warfare and leave an indelible mark on history. By the end, you will understand how this lethal machine shaped one of the darkest chapters in American history. Before we begin, a small request. Most of the people listening tonight aren't subscribed. If this channel has ever helped you drift off, take a moment to subscribe. It's free, it helps this channel more than you'd think, and you can always change your mind later. And if you feel like it, leave a comment telling me where in the world you're listening from and what time it is where you are. I love reading them. One more thing before we begin. I'm also a co-founder of a sleep app, built to be the most affordable one out there. No ads, ever. Just sounds and stories made to help you sleep. It may not be released yet as this video goes up, but if you're watching a little later, it might be out by now. Just search for it, it should be easy to find. It works on iPhone, Android, and everything in between. Downloading it is the best way to support this channel. It's December 1890, and a Lakota tribe known as the Minneconjou is fleeing their reservation near Pine Ridge. Their leader, Chief Bigfoot, is gravely ill with pneumonia. Bigfoot's people are desperate to find safety and medical care for their chief. They seek refuge with the Oglala Lakota at Pine Ridge. The US Army receives intelligence about Bigfoot's whereabouts and dispatches the 7th Cavalry to intercept them. Bigfoot and approximately 350 Minneconjou Lakota are found by the cavalry near Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota. The Minneconjou are unarmed and traveling under a white flag, signaling their surrender. The 7th Cavalry surrounds Bigfoot's camp and sets up their heavy artillery. The mountain gun can fire with great force, capable of causing immense destruction. As dawn breaks on December 29th, the stage is set for a tragic confrontation at Wounded Knee Creek. The tense standoff will soon erupt into the infamous Wounded Knee Massacre. As the disarmament process began, tensions were high. The Lakota were ordered to lay down their weapons, but a sense of unease permeated the air. Suddenly, a single shot rang out. The sound echoed through the crisp morning air, shattering the precarious calm. This unexpected shot would set off a chain reaction that no one could have predicted. The Hotchkiss guns, with their revolving barrels designed for sustained rapid fire, transformed what could have been a tense standoff into an instantaneous massacre. The camp, once peaceful, was now under relentless assault. The Lakota, caught off guard and outgunned, were helpless against the onslaught. Within minutes, the camp was filled with the cries of the wounded and the echoes of gunfire. In a matter of moments, the disarmament process had spiraled into a brutal massacre. The Hotchkiss guns, intended for battlefields far away, were now wreaking havoc on this small, makeshift camp. The tragedy of Wounded Knee was about to leave a lasting mark on American history. The event, often referred to as the Wounded Knee Massacre by historians, would become a poignant reminder of the darker side of US expansion. Within minutes, the once peaceful camp transformed into a bloody battlefield. The Hotchkiss guns, known for their reliability and destructive power in combat situations, left a devastating impact. The massacre lasted only about an hour, but the carnage was extensive. The Hotchkiss guns, capable of firing both exploding shells and canister shot, mowed down men, women, and children indiscriminately. When the smoke cleared, the ground was littered with bodies, approximately 150, possibly more. The highest military decoration in the United States is the Medal of Honor, but no such honor could be bestowed upon these innocent lives lost. The survivors, both from the Lakota camp and the US troops, faced a grim task, burying the dead. In a hastily dug mass grave near Kangpe-Opi-Wakpala Creek, they laid to rest the broken bodies of those who had perished in this senseless violence. The Hotchkiss guns, with their rapid-fire capability and deadly accuracy, played a crucial role in the tragic devastation that day. As the cold South Dakota wind swept over the freshly turned earth, it carried with it not just the scent of death, but also the unspoken promise that such a tragedy should never be repeated. The massacre at Wounded Knee stands as a sobering testament to the devastating consequences of conflict and the terrible power of modern weaponry in the wrong hands. One of the most devastating consequences of the massacre was its effect on the Lakota tribe. The tragedy decimated a significant portion of the tribe's population, including many of their spiritual leaders and cultural bearers. This loss had a profound impact on the preservation and transmission of Lakota traditions and knowledge. The massacre also led to a significant shift in US policy towards Native American tribes. In the aftermath of Wounded Knee, the government recognized the need for more humane and respectful treatment of Indigenous peoples. This recognition paved the way for new policies aimed at protecting Native American rights and preserving their cultural heritage. A stark symbol of this tragic event is the photograph taken by US Army soldiers next to the mass grave. The image captures the raw devastation and the brutal reality of the massacre, serving as a grim reminder of the dark chapter in American history. The Wounded Knee Massacre marked a turning point not only for the Lakota tribe, but also for the broader Native American community. The event galvanized efforts to preserve Indigenous cultures and fight for greater recognition of Native American rights. Reflecting on this tragedy, it's clear that the consequences of Wounded Knee extend far beyond the immediate loss of life. The massacre left deep scars that continue to shape the experiences and perceptions of Native Americans today. As we remember this dark chapter in American history, it's crucial to acknowledge the resilience and strength of the Indigenous peoples who have carried on their traditions despite such immense adversity. In the wake of Wounded Knee, a quiet but powerful message resonates. The true legacy of this event lies not in the violence perpetrated, but in the enduring spirit and culture of those who survived. So as we look back on the Wounded Knee Massacre, let us honor not just the memory of those lost, but also the living legacy of the Native American tribes who have persevered against such tremendous odds. The massacre at Wounded Knee serves as a sobering reminder of the devastating power of conflict and the lasting impact it can have on entire communities. As the tragedy of Wounded Knee unfolded, a formidable weapon played a pivotal role in shaping its devastating outcome. The Hotchkiss gun, with its rapid-fire capability, became an instrument of significant impact. On December 29, 1890, the 7th Cavalry opened fire on a group of Lakota Sioux who were being disarmed. The Hotchkiss gun's rapid-fire capability contributed to the swift and deadly nature of this assault. This relentless firepower played a significant role in the high casualty rate among the Lakota, with estimates suggesting that between 150 to 300 men, women and children were killed. This confirmation adds to the historical record of the event, emphasizing the critical role that modern weaponry played in shaping the tragic outcome at Wounded Knee. The Hotchkiss gun's rapid-fire capability not only shaped the events of that fateful day, but also underscores the stark contrast between the technological advancements of the US Army and the vulnerable state of the Lakota people. As we reflect on the events of December 29, 1890, it is crucial to acknowledge how the Hotchkiss gun's rapid-fire capability shaped this dark chapter in American history. The Lakota, led by Chief Bigfoot, were unarmed and seeking refuge when the deadly assault began. Sadly, this was not an isolated incident, but part of a larger pattern of violence and displacement. From the first European contact in 1776 to the Indian Citizenship Act in 1924, Native Americans faced a relentless campaign of genocide. Its rapid-fire capability allowed troops to unleash a barrage of deadly force with little warning. Despite the passage of time, many questions remain unanswered and issues continue to be addressed. As we reflect on these tragic events, it's important to acknowledge the enduring legacy of violence and the ongoing efforts towards reconciliation. Today, a memorial at Wounded Knee honors the victims of the massacre. The site includes a monument and a cemetery where many of those killed were buried in a mass grave. The mass grave at Wounded Knee contained approximately 150 bodies, a stark reminder of the devastating impact of the Hotchkiss gun. Today, efforts continue to preserve the memory of these victims. The memorial at Wounded Knee serves as an important reminder of one of the darkest moments in American history. It encourages us to reflect on the significance of remembering and honoring those who were lost. As we look back at the events of Wounded Knee, it is crucial to recognize the impact that weapons like the Hotchkiss gun had on the tragic outcome of this massacre. Today, the Wounded Knee massacre stands as one of the most infamous events in American history. It is often remembered for its tragic nature, highlighting the mistreatment of Native Americans by US forces. The massacre is considered a culmination of US efforts to suppress Native American resistance, with the Hotchkiss gun playing a significant role in this tragic event. Today, the site of the massacre is remembered as a place of deep historical significance for Native Americans and is an important location for cultural heritage preservation efforts. There are ongoing efforts to seek justice and recognition for the victims of this massacre, including lobbying for official government acknowledgement and reparations. The Hotchkiss gun, with its rapid-fire capability, shaped the tragic events of Wounded Knee. Understanding this history helps us appreciate the resilience and perseverance of Native American cultures today. Perhaps most importantly, it encourages us to consider how we can contribute to a more just and equitable future for all peoples. The legacy of Wounded Knee reminds us that our past is deeply interwoven with the struggles and triumphs of those who came before us. By recognizing this, we can move forward with greater empathy and understanding. At Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota, Bigfoot and his band of Lakota were rounded up by US soldiers. Despite agreeing to surrender, they were met with a hail of gunfire from Hotchkiss cannons. The rapid-fire capability of these weapons ensured that there was no escape for the Lakota. In just an hour, at least 250 people were killed, including many women and children. The Hotchkiss cannon, with its devastating power, symbolized the ruthless force used against Native Americans. Its use underscored the harsh realities faced by Indigenous peoples during this era of US expansion and settlement. However, despite the devastating loss of life and the brutal tactics employed, the Lakota and other Native American groups have shown remarkable resilience. They continue to fight for their rights and preserve their cultural heritage. The Wounded Knee massacre serves as a stark reminder of the darker chapters in our nation's history. It is a story that calls for empathy, understanding, and a commitment to a more just future for all Americans. As we consider the legacy of Wounded Knee, we must also acknowledge the ongoing struggles faced by Native American tribes today. Their story is one of resilience and determination in the face of adversity. The massacre's long-term effects are still felt, reminding us of the importance of empathy and understanding. By recognizing our shared history, we can move forward with greater compassion and a deeper commitment to justice. The Hotchkiss cannon fired a combination of exploding shells and canister rounds. These projectiles were designed to cause maximum carnage within the tightly packed Lakota camp, further intensifying the devastation inflicted upon the community. The explosive power and shrapnel dispersal made the gun particularly deadly in close quarters. The letter by Sidney H. Bird offers a chilling description of the Hotchkiss cannon, which he referred to as the big gun on wheels. This account underscores the lasting trauma and memory of the massacre, ensuring that the story is passed down through generations. By remembering and commemorating those lost in the Wounded Knee massacre, we honor their legacy and pay respect to the people whose lives were taken in this tragic event. The lessons learned from such dark chapters of history serve as a reminder of the importance of empathy and understanding. As we reflect on the memory of the Wounded Knee massacre, it is crucial to acknowledge the ongoing efforts towards healing and justice. By recognizing our shared history, we can move forward with greater compassion and a deeper commitment to justice for all. In the American Indian Wars, the Hotchkiss gun played a crucial role in battles against the Sioux and other Native American tribes. Its potency was also on full display during the Spanish-American War. The Hotchkiss gun was used to great effect in the Philippines during the Philippine-American War. In these conflicts, the Hotchkiss gun's reliability and destructive power were key factors in the military's successes. Its role in these pivotal moments underscores the significance of this weapon before it became infamously associated with Wounded Knee. Understanding the broader context of its use helps us grasp the full impact of this powerful tool on US military history. This perspective also reveals the complex interplay between technological advancements and historical events that have shaped our nation. This pace of firepower was enough to cause significant destruction in a short amount of time. In the hands of well-trained soldiers, the Hotchkiss guns were feared for their ability to quickly suppress enemy resistance. The tragic events of Wounded Knee highlighted both the strengths and the terrible consequences of these technological advancements in military weaponry. The story of the Hotchkiss gun serves as a reminder of the complex interplay between technological progress and human conflict. On the battlefields of the late 19th century, the introduction of rapid-fire guns like the Hotchkiss revolutionized military tactics. Soldiers were no longer required to maintain dense, linear formations for effective firing, as the rapid-fire capability allowed for dispersed combat. This shift toward more spread-out units reduced the target profile and made it harder for opposing forces to concentrate their fire. The dispersed formations also enhanced mobility, allowing troops to quickly advance or retreat as needed. Moreover, the rapid-fire guns required smaller crews to operate efficiently, reducing the number of personnel needed in each unit. At Wounded Knee, the US Army's deployment of 4 Hotchkiss guns demonstrates this strategic shift. The decision to use rapid-fire artillery in such close quarters underscores the Army's evolving approach to battlefield tactics. The Hotchkiss guns, with their capability of firing approximately 4-6 rounds per minute, provided a formidable and versatile addition to the 7th Cavalry's arsenal. The use of these guns highlights the broader military context of the Hotchkiss gun's role in reshaping battlefield tactics. As technology advances and new weapons are developed, commanders must continually adapt their strategies to maximize effectiveness on the field. Understanding these tactical changes provides insight into the evolving nature of warfare and the constant need for military adaptation. It's the early morning of December 29, 1890. The Ghost Dance movement, a Native American spiritual practice aimed at restoring harmony with the land and the ancestors, has been sweeping through the Sioux Nation. Its participants believe that performing these dances will bring back their deceased relatives and drive away the white settlers who have taken their lands. The US Army, fearful of this growing unrest and the possibility of an uprising, has been dispatched to suppress any resistance. This rapid-fire capability makes it a crucial tool for suppressing resistance, allowing the Army to overwhelm Native American defenses with sheer volume of fire. On this fateful morning, Chief Bigfoot and his band of Minneconjou Lakota are encamped near Wounded Knee Creek. Bigfoot is dying from pneumonia and traveling with his people to seek refuge at the Pine Ridge Agency. The Army, led by Colonel James W. Forsyth of the 7th Cavalry, intercepts them and orders their disarmament. A shot rings out during this process, triggering a chaotic response from the Army. 4 Hotchkiss cannons, single barrel and breech loading, are swiftly brought into action. These guns fire both exploding shells and canister, creating a devastating barrage that decimates the Native American camp. The Hotchkiss gun, a formidable weapon developed by Benjamin B. Hotchkiss, had already left its mark on military history before it played its devastating role at Wounded Knee. Hotchkiss, a former officer in the French army, saw the potential of rapid-fire artillery after witnessing the effectiveness of mitrailleuse guns during the Franco-Prussian War. He decided to create his own version of the rapid-fire cannon, and in 1872 he established Hotchkiss et Chier with financial backing from the French government. The Hotchkiss gun was an immediate success, catching the attention of militaries worldwide. The US Army was among the first to adopt this new weapon, recognizing its potential for rapid and sustained fire on the battlefield. This capability was first put to the test in the American Indian Wars, where the US Army found it invaluable for their campaigns. As the years passed, the Hotchkiss gun continued to evolve, its capabilities and effectiveness honed through various military campaigns. By the time of Wounded Knee in 1890, the Hotchkiss gun had become a symbol of military might and power. This rapid-fire capability would have tragic consequences at Wounded Knee, where the Hotchkiss guns were used to decimate the Native American camp. Native American weaponry at Wounded Knee consisted mainly of bows, arrows, and knives. These weapons were crafted with intricate details, reflecting the tribal culture's deep connection to nature and their surroundings. The Lakota tribe, for instance, was known for its skill in archery. The bows used by the Lakota were typically made from various woods, such as juniper or pine, and strung with sinew. The arrows were tipped with stone or flint points, and feathers adorned their shafts for better flight stability. These traditional weapons were highly effective in close combat scenarios and required a high degree of skill to use proficiently. 4 Hotchkiss cannons were deployed by the 7th Cavalry, firing both exploding shells and canister rounds that scattered deadly shrapnel across a wide area. The sheer power and range of these modern weapons highlighted the stark disparity in military capability between the US troops and the Native Americans at Wounded Knee. This imbalance contributed to the tragic outcome, as the Hotchkiss guns played a devastating role in decimating the Native American camp. This stark contrast in weaponry underscores the severe imbalance in military capabilities that shaped the tragic events at Wounded Knee. As the 7th Cavalry approached Chief Bigfoot's encampment, they positioned their Hotchkiss guns strategically to maximize firepower. The cavalry's plan was to disarm Bigfoot and his followers, a task made easier by the superior range and accuracy of the Hotchkiss guns. However, during the disarmament process, tensions escalated quickly. A shot rang out, and the cavalry's response was swift and devastating. The Hotchkiss guns' rapid-fire capability allowed them to unleash a barrage of explosive shells and canister shots in mere seconds. The rapid succession of deadly fire from the Hotchkiss guns left little room for maneuver or escape. The Lakota people were caught off guard and overwhelmed by the relentless onslaught. The Hotchkiss guns' role in this tragedy underscores a stark reality. Advanced military technology can drastically alter the course of historical events. Without the Hotchkiss guns, the 7th Cavalry might have had to rely more heavily on traditional firearms, which would have provided less overwhelming force and potentially allowed for different outcomes. Yet the rapid-fire capability of the Hotchkiss guns was a game-changer, allowing the cavalry to maintain control and overwhelm the Lakota resistance in a matter of minutes. The devastating effects of this advanced weaponry left an indelible mark on the landscape and the lives of those present. As the smoke cleared, a mass grave held the remains of hundreds of Lakota men, women, and children, a stark reminder of the brutal power wielded by advanced military technology. This event served as a grim reminder of how military tactics can be reshaped by the introduction of new technologies, with far-reaching and often tragic consequences. These tensions were rooted in long-standing efforts to expand US territory and assert control over indigenous populations. One of the pivotal moments leading up to Wounded Knee was the signing of the Treaty of Fort Laramie in 1868. This treaty established the Great Sioux Reservation, encompassing parts of South Dakota and Wyoming, and was intended to secure peace between the US and the Lakota people. However, the discovery of gold in the Black Hills in 1874 triggered a wave of settlers and prospectors invading the reservation lands. This influx sparked conflicts as the Lakota resisted these incursions, leading to increasing unrest between the Native Americans and US forces. In response, the US government passed the Major Crimes Act in 1885, which allowed for the federal prosecution of Native Americans for certain crimes. This act further eroded trust and increased tensions, as it was seen by many Lakota as an attempt to impose external control over their traditional legal systems. The Dawes Act of 1887 further complicated matters by dividing communal tribal lands into individual allotments, effectively dismantling the traditional way of life for many Native American tribes. This policy, intended to promote assimilation, often resulted in the sale of these allotments to non-Native Americans, leading to a loss of land and resources for the Lakota. The Ghost Dance movement of 1890 amplified these tensions, as it was viewed by US authorities as a threat to their control over the Native American populations. The perceived rebellious nature of the Ghost Dance led to a series of confrontations and eventually the tragic massacre at Wounded Knee. The use of this advanced weaponry, designed for rapid and destructive firepower, underscored the profound disparity in military technology between the US forces and the Lakota. This disparity reflected a broader power imbalance that had been building over decades of complex political maneuvers, treaties, and legislation. Ultimately, the Hotchkiss gun's rapid-fire capability highlighted the tragic intersection of technological advancement and historical mistrust, culminating in the devastating events at Wounded Knee. As we continue to explore US Native American relations, this event serves as a stark reminder of how deeply rooted conflicts and tensions can shape the course of history. One of the key factors behind this weapon's effectiveness was its innovative ammunition, known as Hotchkiss ammunition. Unlike traditional artillery shells that required careful loading and manual ignition, Hotchkiss ammunition was designed to be self-contained and easily manageable. The rapid succession of blasts was crucial in the US Army's efforts to suppress resistance and maintain control during the massacre. The strategic use of Hotchkiss ammunition highlights how technological advancements in weaponry can have profound and tragic consequences on the battlefield. Understanding the development of Hotchkiss ammunition offers insight into the broader historical context that shaped military strategy and its devastating impact on Indigenous populations. As we delve deeper into this history, it becomes clear how deeply rooted conflicts can influence the evolution of military technology and its lethal application. The training of artillery troops in the late 19th century was a meticulous process designed to maximize efficiency and lethality. Soldiers were drilled relentlessly on the intricate workings of their weaponry, particularly the Hotchkiss gun. Soldiers were taught the specifics of loading and unloading ammunition, a process that required precision and speed. Drills often involved simulated combat scenarios to ensure troops could operate under pressure. In the build-up to Wounded Knee, the 7th Cavalry underwent rigorous training exercises in South Dakota. These drills were designed to prepare them for any scenario they might encounter. The Hotchkiss gun's mobility was another crucial aspect of its deployment. Troops were trained to assemble and disassemble the gun swiftly for easy transportation. This meticulous training ensured that by the time they reached Wounded Knee, the 7th Cavalry was proficient in using the Hotchkiss gun under various conditions. Their readiness to deploy this weapon effectively would prove catastrophic at Wounded Knee. In a tragic turn of events, the well-drilled soldiers opened fire on the Lakota camp with their Hotchkiss guns. As the smoke cleared and the echoes of gunfire faded, the world witnessed the devastating power of military technology in the wrong hands. This grim chapter serves as a sobering reminder of how innovation can be twisted into tools of destruction. The training and deployment of artillery troops is a tale that must be remembered for its profound lessons on the responsibilities of power. Before the introduction of rapid-fire guns, engagements were often limited by the slow rate of fire from traditional artillery. This rapid-fire capability allowed US troops to maintain a continuous barrage of fire, significantly increasing their combat effectiveness and lethality. This shift was evident in other military campaigns preceding Wounded Knee, where the use of rapid-fire guns became increasingly common and decisive. The adoption of these weapons indicated a new strategy aimed at subduing resistance quickly and efficiently. As the US expanded its territories, rapid-fire guns played a crucial role in suppressing resistance from Native American tribes. This strategic shift set the stage for tragedies like Wounded Knee, where the lethal efficiency of rapid-fire weapons was brought to bear against unarmed civilians. The development and deployment of these guns were part of a broader military evolution that continues to shape modern conflict strategies today. As we reflect on the strategic importance of rapid-fire guns, it is essential to consider not just their technological advancements, but also the human consequences they bring about in times of conflict. The Hotchkiss gun's capabilities were not merely technological advancements, they represented a symbol of overwhelming military might. The mere presence of these guns at US Army outposts and encampments sent a chilling message to Native American tribes: resistance was futile. This psychological effect was magnified by the demonstrations of the Hotchkiss gun's firepower. The Army often used these displays as a show of force, firing exploding shells and canister rounds to create chaos and fear. The psychological impact was twofold. It deterred tribes from engaging in armed conflict and undermined their morale, making them more likely to surrender peacefully. This strategy proved effective, leading up to the Wounded Knee massacre. The Hotchkiss gun's presence and demonstrations played a significant role in shaping the mental state of those involved, contributing to the tragic events that unfolded. This technological advantage not only altered battle outcomes, but also influenced the psychological landscape of the conflict. Reflecting on these events highlights the profound impact of rapid-fire weapons on both the strategic and psychological dimensions of warfare. The Hotchkiss gun's technological advancements came with human costs that are still felt today. Its advanced sights allowed soldiers to target with precision, which was especially crucial in military engagements where accuracy could mean the difference between victory and defeat. During the Wounded Knee massacre, the Hotchkiss gun's advanced sights enabled soldiers to fire with lethal effectiveness. These sights were designed to provide a clear line of sight, allowing the gun crew to hit their targets accurately, even in chaotic battle conditions. This accuracy advantage was not just theoretical. It had been proven in other military engagements where the Hotchkiss gun's precise targeting contributed to significant victories. This is why the Hotchkiss guns played such a crucial role at Wounded Knee. Their accuracy contributed to the massacre's severity. Understanding this accuracy advantage reinforces why the Hotchkiss gun was such a feared and effective weapon in the arsenal of the US military. The rapid-fire capability of the Hotchkiss gun significantly altered the dynamics of battlefields across America. This was particularly evident during the tragic events of Wounded Knee, where traditional Native American combat tactics were rendered largely ineffective. Traditionally, Lakota warriors employed guerrilla-style warfare, relying on their superior knowledge of the terrain and swift maneuverability. This strategy involved quick raids followed by rapid retreats, making it difficult for opposing forces to engage them effectively. However, the Hotchkiss gun changed this equation dramatically. At Wounded Knee, the US Army deployed 4 Hotchkiss guns, effectively neutralizing any attempt by Lakota warriors to outmaneuver or surprise them. The speed and volume of fire from these weapons made it nearly impossible for Lakota fighters to execute their traditional guerrilla tactics effectively. This technological imbalance underscored the severe disadvantage faced by Lakota warriors, who were no longer able to rely on their customary maneuvers to avoid or overwhelm US forces. This underscores how technological advancements can profoundly reshape the dynamics of conflict and combat strategies. But the rapid fire also had an unintended consequence. It created a sense of urgency and chaos that could have been difficult to manage. Witnesses reported seeing soldiers' faces contorted with fear as they struggled to control their weapons. On the Lakota side, the sound of the Hotchkiss guns must have been deafening and terrifying. The explosive shells and canister would have sent shockwaves through their camp. One survivor, a young Lakota boy named Black Elk, later recounted the horror. There was a lot of screaming and crying, and the ground shook with each explosion. Perhaps most tragically, the psychological impact of the Hotchkiss guns extended beyond the immediate battlefield. The echoes of that day would haunt survivors for generations. In understanding how the Hotchkiss gun shaped the tragic events of Wounded Knee, we gain insight into both the power and the cruelty of technological advancement. In the aftermath of Wounded Knee, the US Army recognized the power of rapid-fire weapons. This realization sparked a wave of innovation aimed at improving and expanding this capability. This gun featured a rifled bore to enhance accuracy over longer distances and could fire both exploding shells and canister ammunition, making it versatile for different combat situations. The success of rapid-fire technology at Wounded Knee had far-reaching implications, shaping military tactics and strategies in subsequent wars. It underscored the importance of technological innovation in modern warfare. With the advent of rapid-fire artillery like the Hotchkiss gun, military strategy underwent a profound transformation. The days of cavalry charges and close combat were giving way to entrenched positions and strategic planning that emphasized the power of artillery support. The concept of synchronized firing, where multiple guns were timed to release their rounds simultaneously, became a pivotal tactic in modern warfare. This required precise coordination among soldiers and officers, leading to more intricate command structures within artillery units. The battlefield layout was also redesigned to optimize the use of rapid-fire weapons. Artillery positions were strategically placed to maximize their firing arcs and minimize exposure to enemy fire. These rapid-fire weapons played a crucial role in the massacre, highlighting how artillery tactics had been fundamentally reshaped by advancements in firepower. As the dust settled at Wounded Knee, it became clear that artillery tactics had entered a new era, one where rapid-fire weapons held unprecedented influence. By the late 19th century, rapid-fire artillery like the Hotchkiss gun was revolutionizing warfare. Its capability to unleash a barrage of shells in quick succession brought an unparalleled psychological effect on combatants. The mere sound of its rapid discharge could send shivers down spines, instilling fear and chaos among enemy lines. For soldiers operating these weapons, the psychological toll was equally profound. The relentless firing rate demanded constant attention and split-second decisions. Each pull of the trigger held the potential to decide life or death for those on both sides of the battle. The mental strain was amplified by the weapon's raw power. A well-aimed shell could decimate entire formations, leaving devastation in its wake. The burden of this responsibility weighed heavily on the minds of those manning the Hotchkiss guns. For Native American combatants, the demoralizing effect was acute. The unceasing roar of explosions shattered their morale and made organized resistance nearly impossible. The rapid-fire capability conveyed an overwhelming sense of futility. Surrounded by the relentless barrage, Native Americans found themselves trapped in a cycle of terror and despair. The psychological impact was so severe that many surrendered or fled without engaging, further tipping the balance of power. These psychological effects became starkly apparent at Wounded Knee Creek in 1890. The Hotchkiss guns, wielded by the 7th Cavalry, unleashed a devastating torrent of fire that overwhelmed and decimated the Lakota encampment. The psychological power of these rapid-fire weapons added a chilling dimension to the tragedy, highlighting their profound impact on both soldiers and Native Americans alike. The tragic events at Wounded Knee marked a turning point, illustrating the immense psychological effect of rapid-fire weapons and their profound role in shaping the course of future conflicts. The US military quickly adopted the Hotchkiss gun, seeing it as a means to overwhelm their adversaries with sheer firepower. This newfound aggression began to shape government policies towards Native American tribes, who were seen as obstacles to westward expansion. Military actions against the tribes were justified under the guise of technological superiority and the need for pacification. The Hotchkiss gun was a centerpiece in these operations, striking fear into Native American communities. Its rapid fire and destructive power made it seem invincible, an ideal tool for the military's aggressive campaigns. The massacre that followed resulted in the deaths of at least 250 Lakota men, women, and children. This tragic event marked a pivotal shift in U.S. government policies towards Native American tribes, emphasizing the need for assimilation over resistance. The Hotchkiss gun's role in these tragic events serves as a stark reminder of how rapid-fire technology can shape not just the course of battles, but also broader political strategies and government policies. Among the Lakota people, a profound spiritual movement known as the Ghost Dance emerged in the late 19th century. This dance was not merely a ritual, but a deeply held belief system that promised renewal and hope. The Ghost Dance was centered around the idea of a messianic figure who would unite the tribes and restore their lands. It offered a vision of unity and rebirth, bringing hope to many Native American communities. However, the U.S. troops who encountered these ceremonies misunderstood their significance. They saw the Ghost Dance as a defiant act of resistance, rather than a spiritual practice grounded in hope. This misinterpretation contributed to the tensions leading up to the Wounded Knee massacre. The fear of a coordinated Native American uprising based on false perceptions of the Ghost Dance led to military action. Reflecting on this tragedy, one can't help but consider how a deeper understanding might have changed the course of history. Perhaps with greater knowledge and empathy, the outcome at Wounded Knee could have been different. As we look back on these events, it's clear that spirituality played a crucial role in shaping the narrative of Wounded Knee. And with that comes the responsibility to honor and respect the beliefs of all people. Remembering this tragedy also underscores the importance of accurate interpretation in our own time. As we continue to learn about different cultures and faiths, let's strive for understanding and respect. Forsyth, a veteran of the American Civil War, had been tasked with disarming and relocating the Lakota people to reservations. The Army's goal was to suppress any resistance and ensure compliance with U.S. policy. The decision to deploy these powerful weapons highlights the military's intent to ensure their objectives were met with minimal resistance. Colonel Forsyth's orders to his troops included the use of both exploding shells and canister shot, enhancing the lethality of their firepower. The devastating impact of these weapons was felt most acutely by the Lakota people. As the 7th Cavalry advanced, 4 Hotchkiss cannons unleashed a barrage that swept through the camp. The tragic outcome at Wounded Knee underscores the profound consequences of military command decisions. The deployment of rapid-fire weapons in this conflict highlights the stark power dynamics at play. As we continue to explore the complexities of American history, it's essential to recognize how strategic choices and technological advancements shaped pivotal moments like Wounded Knee. By understanding these command decisions, we can better appreciate the nuances of power and the tragic impact it has had on Indigenous communities. Bird's account is echoed by other survivors who described the sheer terror of hearing the cannon's thunderous roar. The sound was unlike anything they had ever experienced. One survivor recalled, "It was as if the very earth was trembling." The Hotchkiss cannon's power was overwhelming and unforgiving. Testimonies from U.S. soldiers involved in the massacre also revealed the chilling efficiency of the Hotchkiss gun. One soldier wrote, "The cannon could lay waste to an entire encampment in a matter of minutes." Understanding the impact of these weapons through the eyes of those who witnessed them is crucial. It provides a human perspective on the devastating effects of rapid-fire technology. And perhaps most importantly, it serves as a somber reminder of the power dynamics at play during such tragic events. In the aftermath of the massacre, the U.S. military recognized the need for stricter rules of engagement and more regulated use of weapons. One of the key changes was the implementation of clearer guidelines on when and how to open fire during conflicts involving civilians. Additionally, there were new regulations introduced for the use of rapid-fire weapons like the Hotchkiss gun. These reforms aimed to ensure that such devastating incidents would not be repeated in future military operations. The Wounded Knee massacre highlighted the critical importance of proper training and discipline among military personnel. It also underscored the necessity of ethical guidelines that prioritize the protection of innocent lives during conflicts. The long-term impact of these reforms was a shift towards more controlled and humane military practices across various branches of the US armed forces. These changes not only affected how weapons like the Hotchkiss gun were deployed, but also reshaped the overall strategy and tactics used in military operations. Following Wounded Knee, the US military recognized that rapid-fire weapons like the Hotchkiss gun could deliver a high volume of fire in a short amount of time, significantly enhancing their offensive capabilities. This realization led to the adoption of new battlefield strategies that emphasized rapid and sustained firepower. Infantry units were reorganized to integrate more artillery support, ensuring a constant barrage against enemy positions. The impact of the Hotchkiss gun extended beyond its direct use in combat. Its rapid-fire capabilities inspired the development of other weapons designed to deliver sustained firepower, contributing to a broader evolution in military technology. The adoption of these new strategies and weapons was not just about firepower. It also reflected a broader shift in military thinking towards efficiency and effectiveness. The Hotchkiss gun demonstrated that by concentrating fire, even small units could have disproportionate impact on the battlefield. Moreover, the rapid-fire capability of weapons like the Hotchkiss gun reduced the need for large armies, as smaller, more agile units could achieve comparable firepower. This shift had profound implications for military logistics and troop deployment strategies. This enduring influence highlights the importance of adapting to new technologies and integrating them into evolving military strategies, a lesson that continues to resonate today. Even today, rapid-fire technology remains a formidable force on the battlefield. Modern conflicts continue to demonstrate the enduring relevance and devastating impact of such weapons. Consider the siege of Mosul in 2016, where the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria ISIS fighters employed automatic weapons to defend their stronghold. Their rapid-fire capability allowed them to maintain a relentless barrage, making it extremely challenging for advancing forces to gain ground. Similarly, in the conflict between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, both sides utilized rapid-fire systems to launch rockets at unprecedented speeds. These technologies enable attacks to be delivered in quick succession, reducing the time available for defensive measures and increasing the likelihood of a successful strike. The consequences are stark: civilian casualties rise, and the ability to maintain control over key areas becomes increasingly tenuous. As we see from Wounded Knee to Mosul and Gaza, the ability to deliver sustained rapid fire has profoundly shaped modern warfare. Today's military strategists must grapple with the same challenges faced by General Forsyth in 1890, how to counteract such devastating firepower. The answers lie not just in technological advancements, but also in understanding the human factors at play. By learning from historical events like Wounded Knee, we can better appreciate and address the complexities of contemporary warfare. The Hotchkiss gun's legacy serves as a reminder that while technology evolves, the fundamental principles of military strategy and human resilience remain constant. This shift in military strategy led to a re-evaluation of policies towards Native American tribes. The brutal efficiency of the Hotchkiss gun underscored the need for new approaches to diplomacy and control. Following Wounded Knee, treaties with Native American tribes began to emphasize assimilation rather than forceful relocation. The idea was that if military power could be used against indigenous peoples, it could also be harnessed to integrate them into the dominant culture. The Dawes Act of 1887 is a notable example of this shift. This legislation aimed to break up communal lands and distribute them among individual Native Americans, effectively dismantling tribal structures in favor of a more Eurocentric model. Boarding schools for Native American children, like the Carlisle Indian Industrial School, established in 1879, became prevalent during this period. These schools were designed to educate and civilize indigenous youth. The Hotchkiss gun's deadly potential thus shaped diplomatic strategies by forcing the government to consider more subtle means of control and integration rather than direct confrontation. The legacy of the Hotchkiss gun at Wounded Knee is not just one of military might, but also of the lasting impact it had on US Native American diplomacy. Its rapid-fire capability served as a grim reminder that while technology could be used to enforce dominance, it also necessitated a more nuanced approach to maintaining control. As we look back on this dark chapter of American history, the lessons learned from the Hotchkiss gun continue to echo through the evolving landscape of US Native American relations. Despite this brutal setback, Indigenous resistance movements did not vanish. Instead, they adapted to the new reality. These included stealth attacks, strategic retreats, and the use of traditional knowledge to outmaneuver their adversaries. Adaptability became a key survival strategy. For example, the Paiute people in Oregon resorted to using hit-and-run tactics against the US Army, striking quickly and then melting away into the wilderness. Their knowledge of local terrain and ability to endure harsh conditions also played a crucial role in these evasive maneuvers. Additionally, many tribes sought alliances with other Native American groups, and even with non-native sympathizers to build coalitions against the US government's expansion. The Ghost Dance movement, which gained popularity after Wounded Knee, was another form of resistance. It was a spiritual revival meant to unite tribes and restore their land and culture. Though the Ghost Dance did not directly challenge military might, it represented a powerful form of cultural resilience against oppression. However, these movements faced significant challenges. The US government often met adaptive resistance with harsher measures, making the struggle even more perilous. Still, the spirit of resistance endured, passed down through generations as a testament to Indigenous peoples' unyielding determination to preserve their heritage and reclaim their lands. As we reflect on these histories, we see that while military technology may change, the human spirit remains undaunted in its quest for freedom and self-determination. The lessons from Wounded Knee and the subsequent resistance movements continue to echo through contemporary struggles, highlighting both the challenges and the enduring hope of Indigenous peoples worldwide. The rapid-fire capability of guns like the Hotchkiss had shown that conventional tactics were no longer sufficient for modern warfare. Soldiers trained to fire slowly and methodically struggled to adapt when faced with weapons that could unleash a barrage in seconds. In response, the military began to emphasize speed and precision over sheer volume of fire. New drills were developed, focusing on rapid reloading and quick target acquisition. This shift in doctrine required not just new skills, but also a change in mindset among soldiers. The old adage of fire slowly and aim carefully was replaced by the necessity to hit targets quickly and accurately under pressure. On the battlefield, tactics evolved to exploit these new capabilities. For example, the use of rapid-fire weapons allowed for more aggressive flanking maneuvers and surprise attacks. However, the sheer destructive power of guns like the Hotchkiss also posed significant challenges. The carnage at Wounded Knee served as a grim reminder that while rapid-fire guns could turn the tide of battle, they also demanded careful control and restraint. The lessons from Wounded Knee would ultimately reshape the way military leaders approached artillery doctrine in future conflicts. In this way, the Hotchkiss gun and its rapid-fire capabilities fundamentally altered military thinking and preparing the stage for future engagements. The clash at Wounded Knee marked a pivotal moment in the American frontier's history. As the US Army marched westward, technological advancements like the Hotchkiss gun began to tip the balance of power. Their ability to fire approximately between 4 to 6 rounds per minute made them formidable on the battlefield. For Native American resistance fighters, the introduction of these rapid-fire weapons brought about a significant shift in their battle tactics. The The psychological impact was profound. The knowledge that such weapons could unleash a barrage of fire at speed forced Native Americans to rethink their traditional strategies. They began to adopt guerrilla-like tactics, using stealth and ambush to counteract the overwhelming firepower. Spiritual and cultural practices also evolved amidst this technological disparity. Many tribes incorporated rituals and prayers for protection into their preparations, seeking both physical and spiritual fortification. The rapid-fire technology of the Hotchkiss guns thus had a profound influence on Native American resistance strategies. As Native Americans adapted to the new reality of rapid-fire weapons, their strategies and cultural responses were forever changed. The profound influence of rapid-fire technology highlights how the Hotchkiss gun reshaped Native American resistance and preparedness. In the face of relentless fire, traditional Native American battle strategies were severely tested. Warriors who once depended on agile movement and stealth found themselves unable to maneuver effectively against the Hotchkiss gun's barrage. Desperate attempts to rush the guns or disable them were met with swift and deadly retaliation. The sheer volume of fire was unlike anything they had encountered before. Traditional knowledge and adaptability were crucial in these dire circumstances. Some warriors attempted to use cover from available terrain or whatever makeshift barriers they could construct. But the rapid-fire capability of the Hotchkiss gun left little room for error. Any miscalculated movement or poorly timed dash could prove fatal. The psychological impact was also profound. The constant barrage created an atmosphere of sheer terror, making it difficult for warriors to think clearly or act decisively. In the end, the technological advantage of the Hotchkiss gun proved overwhelming. It challenged and ultimately thwarted many of the survival tactics that had served Native Americans well in the past. This profound impact on their strategies and resilience underscores the transformative power of modern weaponry in shaping the tragic events at Wounded Knee. Wounded Knee marked a turning point in Native American history, a stark reminder of the immense challenges posed by modern warfare. This innovation enabled military strategists to rethink how artillery could be deployed on the battlefield. After Wounded Knee, where 4 Hotchkiss cannons decimated the Lakota tribe, the U.S. Army began to integrate these rapid-fire weapons more widely into their strategic planning. New training programs were developed to teach soldiers how to efficiently load and unload ammunition, ensuring a continuous barrage of fire. This shift in artillery deployment and battlefield tactics reflected a broader recognition of the changing nature of warfare. The deadly effectiveness of the Hotchkiss gun at Wounded Knee shaped future U.S. military strategies, emphasizing the importance of rapid-fire weaponry in modern warfare planning. Its enduring influence can be seen in the development of new training programs designed to maximize the efficiency and lethality of these weapons. To this day, the lessons learned from Wounded Knee continue to inform how modern militaries approach strategic planning and the deployment of rapid-fire artillery. In the annals of American military history, few weapons have left as indelible a mark as the Hotchkiss gun. This innovative mechanism, developed by the Hotchkiss Arms Company, transformed battlefield tactics and left an enduring impact on history. Adding to its potency was the use of nitrocellulose propellant, a highly energetic substance that provided a powerful kick to each round. This propellant significantly enhanced the gun's firepower, making it a formidable weapon on the battlefield. But what truly set the Hotchkiss gun apart was its use of interchangeable ammunition. This feature allowed soldiers to quickly swap out different types of projectiles, from exploding shells to canister shot, without needing to adjust the gun itself. This overwhelming firepower necessitated a shift in Native American war tactics from open confrontations to more evasive and guerrilla-style maneuvers. The psychological impact was significant. The sheer volume of fire discouraged direct engagement and necessitated a shift towards hit-and-run tactics and ambushes. Instances of successful countermeasures involved leveraging terrain to their advantage. In the Battle of Little Bighorn, for example, Native American warriors used the rugged terrain and their knowledge of the landscape to their advantage. by employing ambush tactics and using cover effectively, they could mitigate the effectiveness of the Hotchkiss gun's rapid-fire capabilities. This shift in warfare strategies underscores the resilience and adaptability of Native American tribes in response to overwhelming military power. However, the overall trend saw a decline in traditional large-scale engagements as the rapid-fire capabilities of weapons like the Hotchkiss gun became more dominant. It forced a re-evaluation of combat strategies and pushed tribes towards more evasive and guerrilla-style operations. This capability influenced troop positioning, with soldiers taking cover behind rocks and using the landscape for protection while maintaining their firepower. The rapid-fire rate also enhanced defensive strategies by allowing troops to create a concentrated zone of fire, making it difficult for attackers to advance. Moreover, the Hotchkiss gun's capability provided specific tactical advantages, such as the ability to target multiple enemies simultaneously, increasing its lethality on the battlefield. This capability was crucial in quelling any resistance or attempted counterattacks from the Lakota tribe, who were outgunned and overwhelmed by the sheer volume of fire. The Hotchkiss guns played a pivotal role in the massacre, altering the course of events with their devastating and efficient firepower. As US troops opened fire on Bigfoot's camp, the Hotchkiss guns unleashed a barrage of explosive shells and canister that quickly overwhelmed the Lakota, leading to their tragic fate. And so, the Hotchkiss gun's rapid-fire capability not only altered the course of a tragic day in American history, but also highlighted the profound influence of technological advancements on military strategy. The sound of the Hotchkiss guns firing, the sight of canister shells ripping through the camp, and the sheer devastation left in their wake were experiences that no words could fully capture. Traditional healing practices among the Lakota, deeply rooted in spirituality and connection to nature, struggled under these conditions. Shamanistic rituals that relied on a sense of peace and harmony with the world were disrupted by the lingering fear and chaos. Physical injuries, both severe and subtle, compounded these issues. The high-velocity shells from the Hotchkiss guns caused wounds that were difficult to treat with the limited medical knowledge and resources available at the time. The trauma also extended beyond the Lakota themselves, affecting their ability to maintain community cohesion and pass down cultural traditions. The deep-seated anxiety and mistrust engendered by the massacre made it challenging to preserve these vital aspects of Indigenous life. In light of this, the Hotchkiss gun's impact on Wounded Knee was not just a military tactic, but a force that reshaped the well-being and resilience of entire communities. The consequences of this weapon's deployment were profound, reaching far beyond the immediate casualties and leaving a lasting legacy of trauma that echoes to this day. The US Army quickly realized the potency of this weapon on the battlefield. Training programs were overhauled to emphasize the importance of quick reloading and efficient crew coordination. Battlefield tactics evolved to incorporate the strategic placement of Hotchkiss guns for maximum firepower. Strategic planning began to consider the rapid-fire advantage in scenarios where swift suppression was crucial. Its rapid-fire capability shaped not just battlefield tactics, but also the underlying strategy of how to deploy and manage firepower. This transformation in military thinking continued to echo through subsequent conflicts, with the Hotchkiss gun leaving an enduring legacy. Even as other weapons were developed, the principles honed with the Hotchkiss gun remained integral to modern military doctrine. The legacy of Wounded Knee and the Hotchkiss gun serves as a stark reminder of how technological advancements can forever alter the course of military history. The lessons learned from this weapon's deployment continue to resonate in contemporary military strategies and tactics. With such destructive power at their disposal, US soldiers might have felt an increased sense of invincibility. The psychological impact on troop morale could have been significant. Reports suggest that the confidence instilled by superior firepower may have altered military tactics during the disarmament process. With the Hotchkiss guns ready, troops might have become more aggressive or less cautious in their actions. This perception of unassailable firepower might have contributed to the rapid escalation of violence as a single errant shot triggered the massacre. The psychological effects on US soldiers cannot be overstated. Their belief in their weapons' superiority might have led to reckless decisions and a tragic outcome for the Lakota people. The development of Hotchkiss ammunition introduced significant advancements that enhanced the gun's rapid-fire ability. Understanding this ammunition innovation brings us closer to appreciating the full complexity and tragedy of Wounded Knee. Training regimes had to adapt to this new prowess. Soldiers were drilled in faster loading and firing techniques, honing their skills to make full use of the gun's potential. Deployment strategies also evolved. Commanders realized they could overwhelm the enemy with a barrage of fire before the opposition had time to react or take cover. The impact of these innovations was profoundly felt during pivotal moments like the Wounded Knee massacre. The Hotchkiss gun's destructive power and rapid-fire capability reshaped military thinking leading up to this tragic event. Understanding how these changes shape tactics is crucial for appreciating the full complexity of Wounded Knee. Its influence spread beyond the American Indian Wars, transforming combat tactics during conflicts like the Spanish-American War and the Philippine-American War. In these battles, the Hotchkiss gun's rapid-fire capability allowed military forces to maintain a continuous barrage, overwhelming enemy positions. The effectiveness of this technology in these conflicts underscored the growing importance of rapid-fire weapons in modern warfare. Military strategists around the globe took note, adopting and adapting similar rapid-fire technologies in their own arsenals. For instance, during World War I, the British employed machine guns extensively, turning the traditional battlefield into a deadly landscape of sustained fire. This shift towards continuous firepower continued through World War II and into modern conflicts, where rapid-fire weapons remain pivotal in military strategies. The Hotchkiss gun's legacy lives on in the design of contemporary artillery and machine guns, each optimized for sustained rapid fire. Because the story of the Hotchkiss gun isn't just about Wounded Knee, it's about how rapid-fire technology reshaped the battlefields of the world. And that, in a nutshell, is the legacy of the Hotchkiss gun, a legacy that extends far beyond one tragic event, influencing military tactics and strategies across continents and centuries. So the next time you hear about Wounded Knee or any other conflict shaped by rapid-fire technology, remember the broader impact and the enduring lessons it holds.